Welcome to the Vinny Rock Podcast.
I took the blows and did it my way.
It's time. The Vinny Rock Podcast. What up, what up, what up? It's the Vinny Rock Podcast here. Today I'm going to have my boy Scott Huesing. He was in the Marines. He started off as an enlisted, went as an officer, had some very impactful deployments, and he writes about it in Echo and Ramadi. It's a New York Times best-selling book. It's a Amazon bestseller. It is everything world best-selling badass book. You guys got to go check it out. Echo and Ramadi. Find it anywhere. They just did I think their fourth print or fifth print. That's how well this book is doing. Go check it out. But before we get to that, before we get to the podcast, let's talk about our sponsors, Core Medical Group. Core Medical Group is a testosterone replacement therapy company. They focus on helping men get their lives back in order. I promise you, if you're over 25, 26, 27, and you're not feeling yourself, go get your blood work done, and you will be surprised where your levels are in your hormones. Hey, if for some reason your hormones say that you need more testosterone, Core Medical Group, they can send it directly to your fucking house. Go check them out. Let them know I sent you. Let them know Rocco sent you. Beyond Clothing. Man, this winter has been crazy over here in Utah, and Beyond Clothing is one of those things that I count on to keep me warm. Go check out Beyond Clothing, beyondclothing.com. You can use the promo code Rocco for 10% off. Hit them up. Let them know I sent you. Rocco is where it's at. You can get some discounts. I'm telling you, if you're an outdoor guy at all, if you go fishing, if you go hunting, if you go hiking, if you're in the military and you're in the tactical community, these guys make some really cool clothes that doesn't look so obvious. Check out Beyond Clothing. The owners are great. The message is fucking powerful. Promise you, you guys will love them. BeyondClothing.com. Yes, Perseverance Survival. You guys know about them. They're the original Whoopee hoodie. Perseverance Survival is just an incredible company owned by a veteran who's working his ass off. Him and his wife run this. Beautiful people. They make some awesome stuff. Don't forget, they have, like legit, not even joking, they have Ranger panties is what I like to call them. Some people call them silkies. In Tiger Stripe. In Army BDU. In Marine, whatever they call digital. You know, you guys go check them out. They got those. They got the Whoopee hoodies, just the original. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. The Silkies, they have won me over again. I stopped wearing them after a while, getting out of Ranger Battalion. Now I wear them again like they are chocolate. They're smooth on my legs. My wife loves them. We're having another baby. That's what you get when you wear those things. Go check out PerseveranceSurvival.com. Promo code Rocco, 15% off. Listen, a promo code with 15% off. No one gets it better than me. You guys, go check it out at Perseverance Survival. Use Rocco, all caps, unlimited. You can use it unlimited amount of times. Tell your friends. Use it. You'll love it. GMR Gold is a subscription-based gold service called Bullion Box. You sign up for one of those, use Rocco promo code. They're going to send you these precious metals, some gold, some silver, some coins, some all kinds of cool stuff. My kids love it. It's something we do in our household. Every time that box comes, it is like another surprise. Trust me, they're good people. I would not represent any of these companies unless they are just good fucking people. I love them. Go check out GMR Gold. It's a fun process. Aircraftmaintainer.com. This is my boy, man, and Aircraft Maintainer is one of those things. I don't know the MOSs that fit into this, but if you are an aircraft maintainer in the military in some kind of capacity, Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, you know, you guys can go and get your certifications. You can get your FCC, GROL, your General Radio Operator's License. You can get your AMP, Airframe and Power Plant, and these are basic courses. They're 3-day weekends. You can get these courses done, and the military pays for it completely. Why not get certified so when you get out of the military, you can get paid a fair rate than just your regular basics? Go check it out. Let me know if you need anything from me. Those guys are my man. Willie Pete's Chocolates, Valentine's Day is coming around the corner, and you might want some chocolates. Or you might want some cocoa, what is it? Hot chocolate. Cocoa, what is it? It's hot chocolate. Go check it out. Pop Smoke. There's some hot sauce there for you. Check it out. Use that promo code. You guys will get some stuff. Lead Singers Whiskey. Don't forget about Lead Singers Whiskey. We are also brewing now. The beers are starting to get spread throughout the lands. You guys love it. If you're questioning where to get it, hit me up. Hit up Lead Singers Whiskey. One of the two. We'll find it for you. War Fighter Tobacco. You guys already know. It's just it's veterans, combat veterans who own a cigar company. We are stepping outside the box of the normal personas that do cigars, and we made them for you, for your law enforcement, for your military, for you badasses out there. Grab a cigar, grab yourself some Lead Singers Whiskey, relax, and chill out. And listen to some of my music, because I just recorded some here soon. We'll be releasing it soon once I get it all mastered. I love you guys. Here comes the podcast. Hey, what's going on? It's the Vinny Rock Podcast. I got my man here, Scott Huesing. Nailed it. He's the author of Echo and Ramadi, a fucking awesome book. I audiobooked it because it was my listening for my gym sessions. But it's crazy once you started that, and we're just gonna jump into it because I'll do all my sponsors later. You know some of my sponsors. We've talked about some of them, but we'll jump into that later. But you're in town by chance. I'm available. Crazy cool to have you actually in studio in this little honey hole I call my podcast space.
Yeah, we've been trying to jam this one out for 5-6 months.
Yeah,
you were on Break It Down show with me and Pete, and then we just ran into each other up in the hills with Jez.
Yeah, that was crazy. We did his podcast.
I just listened to that episode too.
It's good.
Guilty. It is. It's funny.
It's good.
Shit, man.
Yeah, it's good, man. So
that was a good one.
Jez is a wild man, though, dude. Jez is good. And so obviously me and Jez co-authored Sugar Man. That's been out now on Amazon. The audiobook comes out here soon. And it's just, it's the circle we were just talking about. Like the circle of all the dudes that we've connected with in the past year has been crazy. And everyone's doing their own thing. And I wish I was there in SHOT Show with you guys, because that's where kind of it's like where all roads collide at SHOT Show. Anyone in our community of veterans, law enforcement, authors, everything you can think of, run the gamut there at SHOT Show.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's a gun show like at the state fair, but it's so much more, because you've been in combat, and it is more overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
Sensory overload being at the Sands Expo Center with 60,000 people.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And I don't think I even touched a gun again this year. I do all the other promotions, and it is a big reunion.
Yeah, if you've never been to SHOT Show, I don't care what convention you've ever been to, nothing's like SHOT Show. Walking the floor in SHOT Show, if you try and walk the floor every day, you're probably still not going to get to every single booth. You actually have to be calculating how you try and hit some of your friends' booths, is what I've tried to do.
I was on the ground level Hall G or whatever the fuck it was, and I didn't even know it existed, and there was like 1,000 booths down there.
Yep.
I walked in there and I felt claustrophobic.
Yes.
That's where I was trying to link up with someone, and there's no navigation. So they need like a Google Maps just to navigate around and point you in the right
that's
direction.
the thing. So I was supposed to go. There was a couple events I was invited to. Skill Set, obviously the cover of Skill Set magazine this month. Yay, whatever. Right? That's cool.
Yeah, it was great.
We're supposed to go to the party and do some signatures, and then also another event with you was me and Jez were going to be there as well and signing autographs for
Burbiz.
Yeah, for Burbiz.
Burbiz.
Yeah, Burbiz. What exactly is Burbiz? Please.
Well, Burbiz they're creating opportunities for veterans. I'm not affiliated with them, so I'm not speaking officially, but Scott Davidson and Justin Constantine are good friends of mine. They've invited me into a couple of events, and they're just a great organization. They've got a great brand. They've got great sponsorship, and they're just an East Coast clique, I think.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to really fall into those things, because it's just like, the old school rap. There's East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is in the veteran space.
For sure.
In the podcast space, I think, to some degree, and entertainment space even.
Yeah.
So,
No, for sure. So,
But I love what they're doing.
In entertainment, it's crazy division. There's you either do entertainment in New York or you do it in LA, right? It like the top dogs, right? It's interesting. So yeah, you guys are there, and dude, I missed it because Mama's pregnant, and how overwhelming that can get just for me. I imagine she would have hated me just taking her there, and I couldn't go alone because it's just too close in the pregnancy to take a risk of being gone 4 hours away, where you just never know if she's gonna have the baby early or whatever, complications, whatnot.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of doing the thing where we're staying home, getting ready for this baby to happen.
And it's one of those things where if you miss it 1 year, you're not really missing out on a whole lot, because it's always happening. But you do walk like 10 miles. I think it was nuts, because, and I hung out with Ryan Weaver And he's a vet, of course. So we run in small circles, but Ryan Weaver country. And so we hung out, and he stayed with me at my friend's place in Vegas.
Yeah.
But once we hit the floor, it's like, pow.
Dude,
I didn't see him
crazy.
till the end of the night. And I said, hey, you want to go to this party? And every night's a party.
Every night's a party.
You change in your car most of the time. You go,
Yeah.
and then it's more networking.
Yeah.
And
That's what it is. Essentially, there's guys that go there to just have a good time, right? Some guys use it as like a guy weekend, whatever, and they go out there and they have a good time. So we have a lot of socials. So we have the Black and Tan, which is a Ranger social.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Special Forces one, I know there is. There's some Marine Recon one. So there's definitely, they use that weekend as the guys weekend as well, which is really cool to kind of get the teams back together and the dudes and communicate. But the other side of it is a massive, massive networking system. It's like anyone who is someone in the organizations or in the space of our world is there.
Yeah.
And if you want,
by the way, they're there to sell guns and ammunition and gear and like all these massive companies. And I have to say, I'm hosted every year by one of my sponsors, Wiley X
Nice.
Eyewear, and they're a phenomenal veteran-founded company, and they always take care of me with kit, and they support our nonprofit at SaveTheBrave.org. I mean, I just love them, man, and I fell in love with them because I approached them at SHOT Show because I mentioned them in the book, and I just said something simply like, I mentioned you in the book because I think your eyewear really saved Marines' eyes and their lives, and I just want to let you know, and they promoted it for 3 days when we launched the book on Fox and Friends.
Oh, that's great.
They've got about 1.2 million followers on social media, so they probably sold a couple books for me.
Yeah, you think, right? And it's just cool that you know they see the support and they're supporting you and you supporting them, right?
Yeah, they're super cool. They're up in Livermore, California, and I was doing some speaking engagement in Frisco, and I was driving down in the morning, and I called Ryan Wilkerson, who works at the headquarters, and I said, hey, I'd love to stop by, just get a hang in with you dudes. And so he gave me the tour. It's a really badass facility. And then he says, hey, would you mind speaking to some of the employees? And I'm thinking, well, it's just going to be a division. He's going to get some guys in his cute, his office. And run. He gets on the microphone. He's Army, by the way.
Nice.
And he's like, attention in the shop. All employees to the front of the store. 250 employees from YVX. So
no shit.
It was so fun, man, because I gave this Monday moto speech. I felt like a company commander on Friday, giving the limo brief, But it was important because the message was really simple that you may be stamping out frames or doing invoices, and just when you think you're not making a difference and the job's boring and you don't think you're making an impact, they're really making an impact. And
definitely,
I was a living result of that because I wore their product and in combat.
I think that's kind of cool because you probably are inspiring some of those guys that are like the mundane work of going to work every day and doing the same thing might for them be so boring, but don't realize the end state goal of what you're doing is there's a huge success. Yeah. Right, you're helping a lot of dudes save their eyes, and that's what people don't realize. That like we had a guy, we had a hand grenade go off, and near some of our guys, a couple guys got hit, but a couple guys got hit in the glasses, and the glasses, no shit, stopped some of the strap, and one went was lucky high enough to forehead, but the one's in the lens. And it's like, damn, dude. Yeah. That's how important iPro is for guys like us. And we've seen all kinds of stuff.
All the Marines and soldiers hate it when they're like, put your iPro on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, whatever, sir. Trust me, it's going to save your shit. So,
well, dude, you mentioned Save the Brave. Let's talk about it, man.
Yeah, SaveTheBrave.org is my nonprofit organization. It was started by one of my junior Marines, Nick Velez, who owns Bastards Canteen in LA.
I've eaten there.
Yeah. And they're coming to Temecula.
Yep.
And man, we got so much cool shit going on with that store too. But we help veterans who are suffering from post-traumatic stress and their families through outreach programs. And one of the things that's really taken off for us is offshore fishing. The guys just love it. Yeah. And we do equine events. We do toy drives during the year. We donate truckloads of clothes to homeless vets in LA whenever we have a Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
That's cool, man.
If you haven't been to one of those, if you're out,
I haven't.
You're out this year, we'll try and get you over there because it's a huge block party.
Yeah.
The city of Downey cordons off the whole block, and it's bands playing throughout the day. And then I showed up and I talked, and we got Rudy Reyes up there last year. And Rudy's up there.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Yeah. Hey, brother.
I love
That's the man right there. If you
want, we're at the Marine Recon Sniper Foundation on Wednesday night.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. Dude, that's
off
the man. That's the man.
Yeah. But again, it was like a reunion, and I was sitting there at the bar and like met some really badass, cool journalists and all these cool people that were there to support the Marines. But that's what we do in our network, and not only just Save the Brave, but everything we do. And we've talked about this a couple times.
Yeah, you've invited me several times, man. And my schedule in LA
Yeah, you
is.
told me to fuck off all the time. Sorry, Huesing, I'm busy.
I've
Sorry, sir, I can't come. I got
duty. No, it's so crazy.
You do have duty though, because you got 6 kids.
Yeah,
one on the way.
Yeah, when I'm home, I'm
you're
home.
Jammed up.
Yeah, and you know how it is, dude. When I'm working, I'm working, and when I'm not working, I'm working. Right, and if I'm not working or working, I'm home working. You know what I mean? So it's just. But,
I like that about you, though. And we talked about this when we were at Jez's place. You've got your priorities right, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys in the space, they lose that. And I think that's important.
Well, I didn't always, right? I matured throughout the years. And luckily I did. And it took some humbling to mature, right? I went through my first divorce. And I've told the story when I do my public speaking.
Second, and then.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the first one is what changed me. The second one was just circumstance, right? But the first one changed how I viewed myself as a parent. My father was the type of man who worked all the time and then paid the bills. And when he was home, he was watching boxing. And there was some mentorship there, but not as much as I think I could have used. And we all kind of get something from our parents, and then when we have kids, we kind of choose how we're going to parent as well. Some things we take with us, some things we decide not to do, right? So much. My father was the old school mentality of just be tough, and I love the man for it. There's nothing I feel like I missed, but I would want to give my kids a little bit more mentorship as a leader in the military, as raising soldiers and everything else. Same thing. We mentor, we teach, and then we hand them off to the world and hope they find success, right?
Yeah.
And so after my first divorce, I was just the guy that paid the bills. I was dad, yes, and they did see me, but I wasn't very relevant in their lives. I wasn't the guy who taught them how to ride bikes because I was gone. I wasn't there for the first steps because I was gone. I wasn't there doing anything other than I am dad, and dad works a lot. Yeah. And when I had my first divorce, it was the first summer where I had my kids for the summer. As we're driving from Arizona back to Texas, I'm joking around. I'm being my goofy self, but a side they've never really seen. And they were like, Dad, you're so funny. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I know I am. Like, what the hell? And I'm thinking, I was like, what the hell? They don't know that Dad's a funny dude. I've never given him that side of me, dude. Yeah. And that ate me up, right? That ride, the whole ride was like this really like, all right, dude, change, right? And that's where I started to kind of force myself to choose family over work. And in saying that, right, there's times when it's not even possible. But when there is the possibility, I had to stop feeling the pressure of being good at work and allowing myself to accept like, work and wait. My family needs to feel that pressure. My family needs to feel me be relevant in their lives. Yeah. And that, dude, it was a hard awakening because I lost the comfort zone of a marriage where I just had to pay the bills and I felt like everything was handled. It was the old school mentality of what my parents were. And I wanted to change that. And so from then on, I've kind of focused on that. There's days I lose myself, right? In the busyness of what we do, and then there's days where like, I'm like, nah, fuck no, I'm here, right? Like this whole time I'm here, I'm gonna have a day job because I'm home. I coach fucking wrestling, you know what I mean? And it's cool.
I know. Okay, so listeners out there, this is how it goes down. So like, I'm not shifting gears totally. So I'm saying, yeah, Vinny, I'm coming out, man. Let's get a hang in, drop a pod. We've been doing this. And
we're loosely planning this for like 3 months, almost 4 months.
Yeah, but I'm reading through my text. I'm like, all right, I'm coming. This day. He's like, cool. I'm like, all right, just give me a 6-digit grid and time on target. Great. Okay, I'm 150 miles out. I'll be there at 4. Cool. 4:30. Okay, I need a fucking address. He's like, awesome. Or what'd you dope?
Got it.
Dope. I'm
dope.
like, okay, no, seriously, a physical fucking address. I mean, this is what it's like, man. Like, because your mind is like in 20 different places all the time. But I'm like, please answer the fucking question.
Yeah. Well, it's funny is when you said that, I'm like, oh, I thought I sent it. I must have copied it. I must have copied it and never pasted it, right?
Because you're like, oh, I'm going to send that to Huesing. Ring.
Yeah, exactly. Dad, huh? It's, my buddy gives me the same shit. He goes, bro.
Oh, my God.
And I always tell him, like, dope, bro. Dope, bro. Dope. Like, I realize now because he makes fun of me. He goes, you always text dope, bro. Yeah. And if I don't, he goes, hey, man, give me a dope, bro, or else I feel like you're not paying attention to me.
I need the love, Vinny. Dope me.
But we made it. We made it happen, dude.
Yeah, no shit.
You got to find a way.
And this is, I was thinking about this, not some esoteric sense as the sunrise is coming up over the Arizona, Nevada mountains when I was driving up here, but I was thinking to myself, I'm really fortunate to be able to have the opportunity. But here's the message is really, I create these opportunities and I try overtly to really stay connected because I know there's people in my life like you and a lot of guys in our space that we're just friends with.
Yeah.
And if most people would say, oh, hey, I'm going to drive 10 hours from Southern California up to Salt Lake and I want to hang with you. Most people say, yeah, right, I'll get around to it. But no, I planned this out and you have to make time to do this. Yeah. Otherwise, those opportunities, man, I'm telling you, they'll just pass you by.
That's something I want to get better at, right? Like some of my Ranger buddies are trying to schedule a trip where I think it's about 10 guys from our platoon are going to go out to some ranch and they're going to just spend 5 days. And that sounds fucking awesome, right? And I want to do that. But it's this weird time in my life where I don't see how that's possible. And I have to make that possible, right? And I know when I'm fearful of not giving myself that soon enough, and then something happens where I regret it.
It's true.
And that's the fear. But it's hard, man, because I'm such in this development phase of my life. Like, if I was still a Border Patrol agent, oh, bro, I would have plenty of time because I know that my day's the same every day. My paycheck's the same every month, and I can find those days to
But did you love it?
No, definitely no. Like, it is hands down the best job I've ever had, but it didn't fill my heart, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. And what I'm doing now does, but I'm such in the building phase of it's hard to take time off. Because I feel like when I take a week off, I lost a week of developing maybe another book or another whatever poem, whatever the hell
it's just like it's such a cycle too that most people don't realize. Like you're dating and then you get engaged. Like when you get married and then you get married. Like when you having a kid. It's like being in the entertainment business. Like, oh, you wrote this book. It's a #1 bestseller. Like, great. What are you writing now? When's your next book coming out? I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Well,
like,
here's the thing.
Just got off the can.
Yeah. Well, you don't ever have to write another book ever again. But
I am.
Of course you are. Of course you are. But you don't ever have to. This book was so successful. Echo Ramadi was a New York Times bestselling, right? Book. What? Was it also Amazon something?
#1 Amazon bestseller.
#1 Amazon bestseller.
National bestseller, award winning.
I mean,
it's because of the support though, but also, I mean, I will take a little credit. Is you really have to do some guerrilla marketing in this realm.
You did, and I look up to you for how you do all that. Like a lot of what I'm doing is to get set up how you do. Like I saw your setup when you go do your book signings. Like, fucking brilliant, dude. I was gonna actually tell you, like, hit me up on the back end and tell me where you got your stuff because I want to set up like that as well, right?
Yeah, and I kind of have because I went through Regnery. They're a mainstream publishing house. I'm really lucky to have them and. They support me not only with the other stuff I'm writing now, but listening to me as an agent for other veteran authors. Yeah. And I've marketed a couple other books. I've sold a couple other books, which is cool. I can't believe I said that in public. Used my name and agent in the same sentence. But,
it's no
offense to agents and lawyers out there.
The honesty is that your intent is not for you though. Your intent is helping others.
I cut out so many hours of internet searches for how to find an agent, and then you send all these query letters and you get this automated response back and it says, please allow 4 to 6 months for our reply as we're extremely busy. And you're like, gee, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, that's
it's a beatdown.
We're gonna have to circle back on the other project because I want to do it, and obviously it's me standing alone on it now. But that's what I want.
Absolutely,
and I think it needs to be done. And like, in anyone in this space, you're the guy you trust. All these other little books I write are just mine, right? These are for myself, and I don't expect them to go anywhere else other than my little following that really enjoys it.
We're gonna throw this out there, and we're gonna circle back at me. I'm gonna have a phone call with you, like we did the guy. Hey, how do you write a book or become an actor? We were talking about that Jez's show. They're like, oh, I got a book I want you to represent.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get fucking slammed on IG.
I know.
It's all good, man, because there's some good work out there. And some people just don't know how to get it out there, and I'm all about it. But don't hit me up unless you've
do the work, do the homework,
done the work, or written a proposal.
Right.
which
We've
is a
talked
business plan, yeah.
about this before. It's like,
Yeah.
Guys come up to me and hit me up and say, "Hey man, I want to be an actor." And I'm like, "Okay, have you done the work? Have you Googled it? Have you researched it? Have you done everything and exhausted every fucking effort before you came to me? Because if you didn't, fuck you, bro. You're an asshole." Right? And not so rude, but saying,
No, it's not. I don't think there's anything callous about it.
right. No,
That's the beauty of being a vet. And we don't wear that on our sleeve, but we have that luxury of being a little bit more coarse than the average fucko off the street who gets his feelings hurt because someone wasn't honest with him and said, "You have to really invest in yourself." I mean, it's just the way it is. And when you've been through the ringer and gone through all those steps, I think it's nice to be able to save people some steps and just offer my services. And I mean, it's just like leadership 101.
Yeah.
Like you want to lead the way for these guys and help them out.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's cool.
No, it's good. So sometimes you ever have guys hit you up and say, "Hey, man, my life is this." I'm sure you do because I get it all the time. Like,
dude, when I was listening to podcasts, like I forgot to use this and I was going to fucking steal it from you. What do you mean demons? No.
Define demons.
Define
demons.
Define demons. Like,
Well, because I need people to
that was classic.
I need people. So he's referencing the same podcast that we did with Jez. And Jez's podcast, what is it called again?
Veteran State of Mind.
Veteran State of Mind. And if you guys go listen to our podcast, it's me and Scott on there. We joined him as a podcast on his, and we talk about all the stuff that we had to deal with. And veterans reach out all the time, and I like when they do because I can be the dick to them, right? I can kind of just be like, "Hey, you're gonna get some tough love from Big Papi right now, right?" Like,
totally.
Jerusalem Vargas is coming out. And when dudes hit me like, "I got the demons," I'm always saying like, "Well, define demons," right? And it sounds so dick, but the truth is like, I want them to think that answer through, and then really break down exactly what that demon, or like quotation marks, is, right? Like, is it really, or is it guilt, right? Or is it, is it PTSD, really? Like, is it a memory?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Whatever it is, there's an answer. But when you define it as this fucking Holy Ghost that fucking you can't put your pinpoint and the finger on it, well, then there's no answers to fix.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a scale for baby demons and then like these fucking giant demons. Like, that's a real. And I don't like to say that, my PTSD is worse than yours or my trauma is worse than yours. And like, I don't judge people. We don't do that and save the brave either. It's
you can't.
Everybody's welcome, and everybody deals with trauma in a different way. Everybody mourns in a different way. So we don't we're not clinical. None of us have a PhD on our wall, but we just try to help people. But you absolutely have to help yourself and be honest with those that are extending an olive branch to you.
Well, dude, I didn't, man, I'm going to say this on here. I know I have little issues here and there, right? These little hangups, right? Whatever, right? There's certain things that bother me.
Top 3 issues. Is this true confession?
I'll admit it.
What's top three?
Sleep was a big one. It's still a big one, right? Yeah. Sleep because I used to have a very, very disturbing dream, right? And it was kind of the combination of an actual memory and I think just a dream that was created. What I believe is probably the emotion that I felt, right? Confusion, yet trying to understand, right? Drinking was a big one, right? When originally I drank a lot because it was like my way of showing my buddies I loved them and respected them by allowing them to continue to hurt. If I hurt for you, you know I loved you more, right? And that's how I viewed it. It's like, you know what? It's the anniversary date of your death. Let me drink until I fucking pass out. And then drink and piss everyone off around me. And fuck it, if I get in a fight, fuck yeah, because that's how much I loved you. And that's how much I care about you. So I'm going to show you tonight, right? And I did this yearly. And then I found other days to do it. Then you have Memorial Day. Right? And so I did that for years and years and years, dude. Another one is like, and this was happened 2 years ago, Thanksgiving. And this is the craziest, like, this is not the first time it happened. It happens randomly. But I woke up early. I cook in my house, and when it's Thanksgiving, if I'm doing it at home, I cook everything. Like, I don't let no one touch anything. My daughters might help me chop some stuff, but I woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning, put the turkey in, get it ready as I'm going. But my finishing touch was the ham. Just heat up the ham, put the glaze on it.
Do you stuff it with like salsa?
Well, that it's just tacos. It's actually tacos. I call it a ham.
Dorito stuffing.
I actually cook. I was making my version of a honey baked ham, and I made the the glaze myself, right? But as it's cooking, I'm smoked, dude. I'm tired, right? So I go sit on the couch. I'm thinking, all right, 10 minutes, and then we're good. We're ready to eat. I pass out, bro. I fall asleep. The glaze is dipping onto the bottom of the oven. It's creating smoke.
Oh, shit.
And my wife's doing her hair. She comes out and says, babe, it's on fire. And bro, I woke up. I used to have the video because I have a camera in my, and I had the video. And it blew me away how I moved. I'm like, seriously, I'm like Kung Fu Panda right now. I'm jumping, I'm screaming out of my fucking mind. Like I'm screaming out of my mind, like to the roof because I'm like, oh, fuck, right? Like that's where I'm at. I'm jumped over the couch one way, ran over, jumped to the other side of the couch, ran over, jumped again, went to the floor, got back up. And by that time, my son is screaming because he's like, scared of what, he doesn't know what I'm lost, bro. And I'm jumping over him, not knowing he's even there. And she walks down the stairs. She goes, babe, relax. And I was like, holy shit. She goes, what happened? Where were you? I was like, I'm gone, right? Like, so, overseas, in Afghanistan, there was a family. So when I wasn't working on missions, I was doing the medical side of things. And so I wasn't a medic, I'm an infantry dude, but I had a strong passion for medical. I already did an EMT class, non-national registry, but I finished my EMT class. My dad's a firefighter and he kind of all steered us that direction, me and my brother. So I go into the military, I already have some fundamentals in medical, and I continue to kind of pursue them. The medics knew that, and so they allowed me to kind of partake in everything, all the training and everything else. And so when I wasn't on mission, I was joining them in the cash or the collection, for any kind of anything that happened, trauma that came in. And they brought a family in that the dad put gasoline in a kerosene lamp for dinner, not thinking about it, right? In the winters out there, how cold they get in Afghanistan.
The coldest I've ever been. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, dude, bad.
People
bad.
don't get that. The desert's cold.
Cold, dude.
Coldest I've ever been.
So they're sitting down for dinner. They all sit on the floor. He puts it in the center of them. Boom, this thing ignites. The whole family, I'm talking 7 freaking people, are burning bad. Man. And so every day they're coming in and I'm scrubbing. We're giving them a ketamine mix between ketamine and another one. And that's just to subside the pain as we're scrubbing the flesh off, the burnt flesh off them. Man. And I'm smelling it every day. Every day they come in. So day one, the family, all the way down to a baby that's like 9 months, right? Some are a lot. So day one, all of them in there. Day 2, only 6. Day 3, only 5.
Wow.
Day 4, we're down to 3. By the last of it, the mother and the baby are the only 2 that survived. And every day I'm working on these kids. And I'm like, damn it, man. Like, this is like heart-wrenching to know, like, every day what happens, they leave us. And then obviously the body doesn't regulate very well for temperatures. Hypothermia sets in or infection, and they're dying, dude.
Yeah. Anybody that works in a burn unit in any medical field around the world, that takes a very special person.
It's rough, dude.
You have not been one.
And because my father's a firefighter, I have this even more strong connection to it. I was kind of a pyromaniac as a kid. My father was like, hey, son.
What's the dumbest pyro stunt you've ever done then?
I took apart a bunch of fucking fireworks and I made my own and about blew my face off. That's about probably.
Any hair singed?
Only when I try and start the freaking grill.
All right, here's I'll give it. This is a true confession, not true confession, but I've never told this. My brother. So I'm the baby of the family, all my kids, and my brother is 3 years older than me, and so I always want to, you want to hang out with your older brothers.
Yeah.
So back then it was I guess 10 gas cans, and they had the bendable spout.
Yes.
And my brother says, hey, write your name in gasoline.
Yes.
So I write out Scott, light it on fire. Cool, right? You know what they say? Write your last name. So I start to pour it as the other things
still
flames
lit
on. My back catches on fire. I'm
God.
like running around. And he's like, stop, drop, and roll. Like, thank God for those PSAs back in the day on ABC or whatever.
Shit.
Yeah, but I man, from an early age, I've taken a shit ton of risks.
Yeah, man. Well, fire was
some self-induced,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I'm lucky,
Yeah.
But I mean, we're making a joke, at the tail end of this very serious discussion. But we at this stage of life, I think we have been a part of and seen so many things that the average public citizen really doesn't get exposed to.
No, for sure,
Maybe that's through self-inducement or choices we make in career.
It's part on part, right? Like I knew I joined infantry. I knew I joined it for Army Ranger because I wanted to challenge myself, but I also knew what potentially was coming with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are your 3?
What was the question? This is what happens when you get two podcasters in the room too. Cause we wind up interviewing each other. I love it. What was the question?
So what are your 3 hangups?
Oh, my 3 hangups. I cannot stand listening to people chew food.
No way.
There's an actual name for that. It drives me off the wall.
Does that have nothing to do with the military, or is it
absolutely nothing to do with the military?
It's just something.
It drives me fucking crazy listening to people crunch and chew, where I have to physically get up and leave the room. I don't know. I didn't know it was going to be specifically military related. That's one. I think that's a true confession too. I always like to throw something out there no one knows about me and leave it to fucking Vinny to do the deep dive. What's something else no one knows about?
Well, like I was saying earlier, it's really, some of the hangups that, like, we're talking about demons. Like, let's backtrack a little. Talk about demons. Some guys have demons, and I'm saying pinpoint exactly what those potentially are. For me, those were my issues, right? And those, I still have counseling for certain things, right?
Yeah.
And those 3 things are probably my biggest hangup.
I try to do the math on it. I think 2 and 3 would probably be just the different gradients of anxiety that I don't think it necessarily stems from things I've seen and done and had to do or order young men and women to do, but it's the absence of that, like I read about in the book. And there's I think certain things in life where you get reminders of those, and it's not the door slamming and I hit the floor like you see on some World War II movie. That's not me. I think it comes over me at this stage more subtly.
Yeah,
and probably. I really don't share that a lot.
Yeah.
Not because I think it makes me feel weak, but because the real message in this share, I guess, is to any veterans listen or anybody that suffered trauma is stay connected and reach out to people and share it. I mean, I'm sharing on a fucking podcast. So if I can do it here in Salt Lake City, you can do it. There's smaller groups and there's larger, however you feel comfortable doing it. But this isn't a self-help show. I mean, we're just, sharing a little bit, but it's kind of also what bonds us as brothers as well. So, yeah.
You know what's crazy? So, like, I talk about this sometimes, like, we experience our experiences in the military for so long, but I always think about law enforcement officers and firefighters and trauma doctors, and these guys go 30 years.
Yeah.
And not allowed to take a break from it, right? Because when you do, how about this? You would do as a law enforcement officer, tell them as a law enforcement officer you have PTSD, see what happens. I'll tell you firsthand.
Desk clerk.
Yep. Take your gun.
Yeah.
Go sit down. How hard is that it's hard for me to hear because I know it's like, man, I feel bad because, like, you're trying to fix that, but I think that's something that should be. I mean, I know that they're trying to, but like that's a tough spot.
Well, maybe that's a good news story that comes out of this. They always say technology and there's advancement. Some things good come from war,
right?
Maybe that's a good thing that the veteran community of this war is really kind of blending that into first responder law enforcement officers, where eventually, I'm not saying it's going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years that, we say, oh, the stigma is erased. Bullshit, man. These guys are still going to get benched if they come clean, or they go talk to the head shrinker. But I think it's a positive thing because our communities do overlap to some degree.
Definitely do.
And I think I've seen some improvements in it. But, yeah, those guys absolutely every day are being exposed to this, and they're pretty silent because they don't want to lose their jobs.
You have to be.
You do. But I've said this before, is if there was ever a career builder or a resume builder, having exposure to that type of trauma and being successful after it, that's something you should be like, oh shit, man, you've shot 5 people in line of duty and you're still driving a car and you're functional and you pick up donuts for the guys every morning at the cop shop. He's a hero, man. Like, absolutely. Yeah. They're among us.
Yeah.
I love those guys. And I was very lucky to go share some of my experiences from high intensity combat in Ramadi with the San Bernardino Police Department. The chief, Eric McBride's a dear friend of mine. He's a Marine, of course. We're thick as thieves. But to go speak to his sergeants and lieutenants about my stuff and like blend that, I think that it does add that, because I'm in a position too where I can pick off the scab every time I get up on a stage and say, yeah, I did this, I dealt with this. Just like you, I drank too much and, had to reel back and recalibrate myself. And so people who haven't done that learn from that, and I think that is
No, for sure. I think that's a big part of who you and I kind of in the space of the community is trying to at least be another voice to help others have voices as well, right? I think that's really what the goal is. If all I am is just a segue for others to be able to do the same thing and just express themselves and openly and then find counseling or whatever the case, then so be it. You're an officer, correct?
Both.
You started as enlisted. That's right.
Enlisted and then officer. I was a Mustang. Yeah.
And you still have, I assume you still have guys that come back to you and reach out to you and
every day. Yeah. Every day. It's another way to use social media too responsibly. Is I always you see what I post out there. Like I always try to be positive.
I like how you say responsibly. I love that.
I like to lift people up, and like I was at SHOT Show, and we're doing some radio with Ross Kaminsky and some other guys. I'm running into Jack Carr, and he gives me a signed copy of his book. I'm gonna give some I'm thumbing through it. I haven't read Jack's book, but I posted it. I was like, buy this book, man. Like,
oh yeah, you did send it to me.
And Jack's a great guy. He's a Navy SEAL. He's doing amazing things as an author. I'm proud. We're not besties, but I respect what he's doing, and I understand what it takes to transition from the military into the space of being an entertainer or an artist, and it's tough, man.
It's tough, dude. It is, and there's not a lot of us that are doing it, and so we do have to be there for the other guys that are trying, right?
Yeah. Every time a new project comes out or something, like, God damn, man, he's crushing it.
It's cool. It's cool to see people do their thing, man. I like it. I like seeing guys. I like seeing veterans stepping outside of that comfort zone and actually doing something that poems. Like when I see poems, I love that. I'm a big writing guy. I love that kind of stuff, like the artsy stuff. Painters and poets, I love.
Who's a veteran poet that we know? Like
Leo Jenkins.
Yeah,
Leo Jenkins.
Not Kevin Powers, who wrote Yellowbirds, is doing poetry now.
Oh no way!
He's down in Austin, as a matter of fact.
That's dope. Yeah, I did. I was on one of the issues of a poetry book of the veteran poets. It's called like Warrant Poems and War or something like that. Fuck, they're gonna.
Do you ever feel like you have a poem in you?
A poem in me?
Do you have a poem in you? Have you written a poem?
Oh, tons.
Really?
I'm published as a poet. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I did tons.
Man.
I wrote one today. It's just what I do, bro. I write songs and poems more often than anything.
I love it, man. When people like pass you by on the street, like poet, they're all fucking tatted up.
No, they never. They look at me. On. I swear, my kids' school, they barely started trusting me that I'm not a bad guy.
Do your kids ever say, "Dad, read me a poem"?
No.
Do they know you're a poet and a comic? And
it's funny. The older ones kind of get it, but it's funny. Like when they have art classes and poems, like writing classes, they don't come to me, and I say, I can help, and they never do. It's like they like my oldest one does want nothing to do with me in the sense where she wants to do everything on her own, right? And then the other one just doesn't believe I know anything. I think the 14-year-old's like, oh, what do you know?
Of course,
right? But my younger ones all love everything I have to say, right?
You get all the advice. They're like, oh, my kid's not gonna be like that. It absolutely happens.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my 14-year-old thinks I don't know anything, and my 17-year-old just she's in her own world right now. She thinks she knows it all. So I'm like, all right, well. Hit me up when you need something.
Hit me up when you need a poem.
Yeah, when you need a poem.
You got a poem assignment from school? I'm your guy. Dad.
Well, it's funny. That's what like this space is, right? This is like my creative space. I come here to write, and it's what the salt rock is for, and the lava lamp, bro. Inspiration.
It's pretty dope in here.
It's just to chill, man, and be able to write. And when I write, it's like you know how it is, dude.
At least it's temperature controlled, unlike the studio.
Oh yeah, no, we were sweating, dude.
I sweat through my shirt, man. It was fucking hilarious.
Everyone was sweating, man.
Oh my god, it was so funny,
dude. We got to do something with your nonprofit in mind. As in, we play softball, we play sports, but like, let's do sports like your team versus ours.
Okay.
Freaking set up in California. I'll fly my team in. My team from San Antonio is like studs. We have fun. They're just a bunch of cool dudes. I got a couple guys here. We have a team here too. Two guys like.
We're down, man. We're pretty diverse. We don't say, oh, we just fill boxes for troops or, whatever, hats for troops or dogs for, like, we go where there's a need and there's a requirement. And if there's an opportunity to do something cool and different, that's how you stay successful.
Yeah, let's just have fun and play a softball game, dude. And like winner pays the other one or whatever. You know what I mean?
I'm going down to Dallas May 15th, 16th for the celebrity golf. No, not celebrity golf, but celebrity softball tournament.
Who's running that one?
Tim Klund. You know TK?
I think so.
Everybody knows TK.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, what I'll if not I'll send you the dates in the minor. But
Yeah,
I'll be down there in Dallas. I love Dallas, man.
Do you?
Yeah.
Out of all the Texas cities, that's the one you love?
Yeah. Well, I like them all. Like I was in Houston last year. I was in Dallas 3 times. I was in San Antonio.
Dallas
I was in Fort Worth.
Dallas is cool. I'm a big fan of the San Antonio. I spent a lot of time there. I like it there.
It's a big hua city.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge. Well, my wife's father was a career Air Force.
Yep.
Her mother's a GS, government worker.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got a good following down there, and it's such a massive state. People are always DMing me or something saying, "Hey, when are you going to do this down here?" I said, "I don't know. Create an opportunity and invite me down." It doesn't take much to get me to Texas. It doesn't take much to get me to anywhere.
Yeah. Do you do speaking engagements under a company? Like, do you
mine?
Your own?
Yeah, mine.
And do you schedule just you, or do you hire other veterans to come in and open for you and everything else?
I don't do like an opening act or anything. Normally, when I get approached through my website or through my assistant, they have a corporate or it's a university, and then we discuss what the arrangements are going to be. But
Cool.
it's interesting because I just got a request to go down to a college in Texas.
Which one?
In May.
What city?
I can't remember the name of it. It's just southeast of Dallas, and then I do a lot of stuff for the Marine ROTC programs,
which is so
NROTC.
Cool.
So I'm going out to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical in Daytona Beach in March. We're working that. So it keeps me all over the map. And I love it, man. Not just to get up and speak and travel, but every time I go to a different location, you meet so many cool people.
Yeah.
It's nuts. And that's why the
cool
net were
thing.
like, I feel like an idiot. I go, "Hey, do you know Jason Pickle?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Jason's the guy that introduced this."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I can't get them all straight.
It's the community is growing, and the community of influencers. And as much as I hate that word, it's the community of influencers, whether it be podcasts, whether it be books, whether it be acting, whatever it is, it's growing, and we're staying connected, right? Like we're all kind of staying close to each other, support each other, and help each other. And so,
what do you think the next 10 years is going to bring for our cadre, for lack of a better term, in the entertainment space specifically, or podcasting mediums? I mean, is it going to continue to grow? Is this crazy thing, the internet, the kids are all talking about the internet, going to go away? I don't know, what's the...
I think, dude, guys like you, guys in my position, guys in other positions, imagine before us, who was there? There wasn't very many that we can say that, hey, I'm going to follow that guy to Hollywood. Right, I'm going to follow that guy in writing a New York Times bestselling book, right, whatever the case, right. And so now all these young dudes getting out have that. I mean, pick who you want. You could throw a rock and hit 30 dudes who are doing it. You know what I mean? And so I think it's going to be even more so. I think what you know is Hollywood, what Hollywood back was in the 60s is going to be, again, where you're going to have a lot of veterans in acting. You're going to have a lot of, of combat experienced dudes doing all kinds of cool stuff. And I think we're just moving up that echelon, right? I think right now we're here, and I would say we're still at the beginning states, right? We're doing good, but we're still beginning. I think in 10 years, we're going to have well-known production companies that are veteran owned. We're gonna have well-known.
That will be huge.
Oh, that'd be huge, dude, because now we can tell the story.
There's some that have put their foot in the water, but I don't think, and I'm not gonna name names, but I don't think they're developing or trying to integrate. They're still keeping the big veteran in it. Like, no, man, like that's what you did. That's not what you are.
100%.
Like, in order to win and play the game, you have to know the rules of the game.
So that's my biggest thing is like, look, I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go, and I'm keeping my mouth shut until I get there, and then I will be in control, right? And if that's not me, then someone else after me will, right? But you have to get into a position of major influence to start changing things beneath you. And right now, we don't have anyone that high up that would say, okay, cool, let's do that. And so until I get to where, and the day I die, hopefully by that point, I'm in such an influential position that I can create this parallel, this path of like veterans who tell their stories or giving more opportunity. And when I say that, it's like, I don't want to just give any dude, you got to do the work, right? Like, I don't want a veteran actor to get opportunity because he's a veteran. No, I want him to get an opportunity because he's a good fucking actor.
Yeah,
You know-
yeah, absolutely, and it has to be the right combination to really be safe. And there's plenty of guys. Let's just use Adam Driver.
Yes.
Now he had a very abbreviated career in the Marine Corps.
Yes.
It was like medically separated for some injury or something.
Yeah, for a bike accident. I
like
think
flipped over his handlebars or something on his mountain bike. But I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But he's another guy. But again, his experience and connection to the Marine Corps and to the veteran community is so small.
Yeah.
I don't think and I'm not speaking for Adam because I don't know him, but that connection and the affection, I think, develops greater over an extended period of time. So if you've got a guy like someone who's spent an entire career in, and then they transition and they spend another 20 years in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
I think they're more keen to say, I want to pick a guy and lift him up into this and bring them in and
For sure.
building a network.
I
think that's going to happen.
More programs. There'll be more acting schools based for that. There'll be more production schools that are focused on that, right? Like all these things that be focused on really helping guys just get that extra step. Because let's be honest, in entertainment, it's who you know still. It's always going to be.
It's everything. It's all relationships.
It's all about that.
And it goes back to, talking to our own tribe about, if you want to do this, just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't have to do it forever.
Right.
It's just like Jez was saying, he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be a writer forever. I'm going to do this, and like I might be a fisherman. We might see him in some Alaskan fishing vessel here shortly. But I don't know.
So I think that guys like you, guys like, all the guys out there that are writing books, all the guys that are doing poetry, all the guys that are doing music, right? All these different things are, man, you guys have given paths to people to attempt. You've shown that it is possible for someone who's done what you've done, who's lives the way you lived, and can get out and do something completely so different from what anyone expected. That's what you're doing, right? That's what other guys are doing in the space. Yeah. And that's huge, because when we were first, it wasn't there as much, right? It wasn't as prevalent. It just wasn't, right? There's a few here and there. And so now I think, 10 years from now, bro, we're going to keep going, right? And people are going to pass us up. That's why I tell people, like, look, man, I don't want to do this forever, right? I'm going to do this until like I can retire. And when I can retire, I'm going to go home and just relax and do something else. I'm hoping it's enough for someone else to just leapfrog me and continue on with the path, right? And continue to grow that space for our community.
And that's the model. And you've said that before. You're like, you want to be an overnight success, it takes 10 years.
Yep.
And that's true. What's also cool is how and there's a lot of guys that do it and there's some that don't, but I think for the most part, sharing the network in guys that are really established. And let's take Pete Turner, the host and creator of the Break It Down show. He gets so many great guys, and I'm so fortunate to be a part of that show.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago, we were back up in Hollywood, in West Hollywood, with Hilliard Guess in his office, and then we had Jason Keller on, who wrote Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
And in talking to him, we're all like talking writing and writer shit and stuff like that, which is great if you're a writer. But it's funny, he said, oh yeah, I started writing that and doing the research 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's a blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
And he's the most down-to-earth dude. He's not like, I'm a Hollywood writer. He's not wearing a fancy jacket with elbow patches. He's like, he's a normal dude. But, you give him your number. He's like, call me, man, if you ever need anything. Those are the people I think that will be gateways for guys who were like us that thought, man, I would never be able to do this.
Yeah.
And it's still pretty humbling, man. I'm no, who am I? But for me, like, I'll share, like, one of the coolest ones was, I just posted on social media too. I signed a copy of the book to one of the commandants.
I saw that.
Served under.
I saw that.
And the week before, the phone rings, and it's General Krulak. We were talking about another guy that had written a book, and we're having a discussion. But he's, and we're friends on Facebook. I believe this guy's 77 years old, Silver Star, Vietnam vet, and just out of the blue, like, and I'm thinking, who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
If I was looking back, 30 years of Lance Corporal Huesing, who would have thought, like, I'd be writing a book and I'd be sending signed copies to commandants of the Marine Corps. Like, you wouldn't even looked in their direction at that stage.
That's like every day.
I feel grateful.
I'm on set. I'm completely like it's like, when's this dream gonna go away? Because this is stupid. This is stupid as fuck. There's no way my dumb ass should be here. You know what I mean? And so it's like same thing, just completely appreciative of just the opportunity. But at the same time, I want to make the best of that opportunity and see if this can this be a lifelong thing? Can I continue to be an actor? I don't know, dude.
You got a lot of perspective. Most of us do. But the thing, too, is it doesn't make us any better because there's plenty of Hollywood successful actors, artists, writers. They've slept in the dirt just like us.
For sure.
Maybe not literally.
Right.
But I'm saying they've waited tables and they've done their share of, shit jobs.
They've done their grunt work,
Yeah, and it's just a choice we made. But so I say that don't diminish that because it's easy to trash someone who's successful doing something, but they don't see all the hours that go into that.
Yeah.
So I have a modicum of respect for people that do that for a profession because it does take a lot of work,
dude. It's crazy
and determination of getting said no to by
Bro.
a multitude of people.
Oh yeah, I've had a lot of auditions, bro.
Yeah,
a lot.
How many auditions have you had?
Probably just under 50 now. And look, I haven't been acting very long.
Yeah.
And listen, I landed one. Mayans.
Yeah.
Mayans. That's it.
That's a good model for success. So every no is one step closer to yes. That's how I think.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's the thing is like I think of it in almost as in they didn't like me now, but they'll remember me. That's in my head. I'm hoping they'll remember me.
You're
and
memorable.
maybe 5 years later, they're gonna be like, hey, remember that dude? He would be perfect for this. Boom, call him. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping I'm stacking a shit ton of they'll call me later.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can look at it, man. And if not, bro, the goal is for me to produce my own shit anyways, right? Like I should be able to. I know the process. I've produced a movie before. I just got to get to the position where networks are trusting me with their money because trying to crowdfund anything ever again is almost completely impossible. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm producing The Gift. Yeah. And we luckily...
Jason Dunham story is so amazing.
Jason Dunham story is fucking stupid.
God, I cried my fucking eyes out listening to that book on tape, on CD when I was driving as a student up to Quantico.
Bro, it's incredible.
It is.
And so what my dudes Dave and Rick were able to create with the trailer of The Gift, we were successful, but we pushed that everywhere. I mean, we had it on military.com, we had it on everything you can think of, right? And luckily the right people reached out and said, we want to help fund it. So boom, we're funding another movie, which is great, but that's not going to exist forever, dude. No one's going to keep crowdfunding. There is very little return of investment on certain projects. You just never fucking know. So the truth is you have to try and land network's eye. So network gives you the opportunity and you're using network's money.
Yes.
And network's money will almost guarantee you success because they're going to put their efforts behind it. And that's what you want.
It's an unwritten rule in the filmmaking or production business. And what was the best one was Nathan Lane in The Birdcage. Rule number 1, never pay for your own production. Rule number 2, never pay for your own production. I fucking love that guy. But it's true.
It's true, man.
And it's not because you want to sucker people in and spend their money, but it's a division of labor, so it comes out the best way possible.
Right.
I mean, that's really how it is.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this thing to get launched up because I have such a connection to the Marines and then all the people involved like Trent Gibson and you and was it Dave and
Dave and Rick are the ones who
it's nuts, man.
And then at the same time this is just one. If we can prove to people this one can be successful, I have like 5 others lined up, dude. And we're already getting all those built. We're getting all those set up. I have Clint Romachet helping me, and we have a system. But it's like I need one to hit, and I believe Jason Dunham's story is.
There's probably gonna be a few of them. I think as far as documentaries that come out that are again paving the way. I think John Hancock's Bastard Road is going to be successful. It's already winning awards at Santa Barbara Film Festival, International Film Festival, and here at Slam Dance in Park City. But by doing that, I think it shows people you don't have to listen to the blowback from Hollywood or production companies who are like, well, we're sorry, but the nation has war fatigue. They're tired of seeing things like this. I mean, shut the fuck up. You know the movie 1917? Yeah. That's World War I. So we're still making movies about World War I. So these stories of the guys that are still alive, I think, are really important to tell. And you know, we're losing World War II vets at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
And every time they do an interview, how accurate is it? If you're 94 years old, you're not getting the real story.
Right.
So these guys that have been fighting this war for the last 17 years, get the stories and get them right.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
I mean, anyone listening out there, if you're a producer wanting content,
easy.
call me.
It's just crazy. But
Hey, my phone's ringing. Hold on, I gotta get this. Hey, it's Tom Hanks. Hold on, I gotta take this ring.
Clint Eastwood more likely would be the one calling. He's a
That'd
stud.
be great. Yeah, he's.
But you know, that's the goal, right? We get one successful. I think we could eventually start getting a network to back us. And when they do, is you just have to keep piling up great content behind it, and allowing ourselves to tell the stories the way we think it should be told, fair, right, correct, and as well as, you know, there's some stuff that I think, you know, there's things with Jason Dunham's story that, you know, we want to show is like, you know, some of the real hardships, some of the honest hardships, but as well as some of the success, right?
Oh, it's just a heart-wrenching story of heroics and from a young kid who had everything going for him. Good looking,
in shape,
built like a superhero,
stud.
God, just, I mean, I don't want to give it all away because they should read the book and then this documentary that showcases all of those people around him that have been affected by that throughout their lives since 2004 or 5.
Yeah.
You know, during that time period. So,
well, shit, man.
Yeah.
We are going to wrap this up.
Yeah, man, this is a fast one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always easy just to talk, right?
I know.
Just BS.
Yeah.
But dude, anyone who's listening, please tell them where to find you. Tell them Echo and Ramadi, it's still out there.
Yeah, we just it hit #1 on Audible in Iraq history, you know, in that category for like the 5th time. People love the Audible book. And
the audiobook's good, dude.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, you can go on Amazon and get the book. We just came out in paperback in November.
Oh,
so we're in like 3rd or 4th printing. And a portion of the sales go to savethebrave.org. If you want to find out more about savethebrave.org, go there, donate, become a part, volunteer your time.
That's the most important thing for nonprofits.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere. Just follow me on Instagram at Echo and Ramadi. That's where everyone jams me up.
Yep. And when I post this, I'll tag you and everything else. And dude, thanks for taking the trip.
I love it. I love it. We'll do it again soon, man. We're gonna link up again here real quick.
Hell yeah, I'll be in LA in March.
Yeah,
I'll be in LA.
I'm grateful for you, man.
For sure, brother.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all, we're out.
And did it more